All right, all right, all right. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. That is Safid Deen. How you feeling, baby? You feeling good?
I'm good, Big O. That chicken noodle soup looked amazing. You got to bring some back.
Okay.
I'm hoping you're having a great time in Vegas. Always a good time.
You,
Whenever you do make it over there.
when if you ever come to Vegas and if you're staying at the MGM Grand, Wolfgang Puck, I'm telling
Mm-hmm.
you, bro, go try that chicken soup. I every time I come to Vegas, doesn't matter where I'm staying. I'm staying in New York this time. We're working at MGM today,
Uh
so
huh.
it allows me. I'm right here,
That's
but
perfect.
I'm telling you, dude, I've been having that soup for nearly 20 years at that Wolfgang Puck.
If you do any drinking after the chicken noodle soup, does it save you? Does it preserve you a little bit more?
I don't
I feel
drink.
like
I don't drink.
okay, cool.
I'm not a drinker,
I
so
feel,
yeah,
I, I feel
I have 4 or 5 drinks in a year, bro. I don't really have a lot of drinks.
I feel like that would be an amazing hangover cure for people in Vegas.
Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. I never have hangovers, so I don't know.
Hey,
Uh,
more
I,
power
I
to you.
I haven't had that feeling in a long, long time
More
having a
more
hangover.
power to you, man.
In fact, I did the last time was here in Vegas, and it was man, God, it must have been 15 years ago,
Wow.
easily 15 years ago, and it was fun because Cafe Moderanos was still open in the
Mm-hmm.
Rio. I don't know if you remember Cafe Moderanos
I
in the
don't.
Rio. And so it was all the way in the back. And I was here hanging out with the Rocky Patel family.
Okay.
And so they have the Rocky Patel has all their stuff over in the West Coast of Florida. And so Nimish and all these guys, they were over there, and I went to hang out with them at and I can say this now at Cafe Moderano because it's no longer there. So it's about 1 o'clock in the morning, and so Rock goes over and asks the owner or the manager, says, "Hey, you mind if we light up some cigars here?" There was nobody in the restaurant anymore except a couple. So he walks over to the couple and he says, "Do you mind if we smoke?" And they said, "No, you can't smoke inside a restaurant."
Mm-hmm.
But they have a sunroof on that restaurant. I'm not kidding you, like a bubble sunroof,
Yeah.
and that thing automatically opened up. And so all of a sudden now we're all, and it's like smoking. And I swear I must have drank 2 bottles of Pinot Noir,
Good
uh,
choice.
La Crema, Pinot Noir, my favorite wine. And I, brother, I was high as a kite, man. I was high as a kite. And the worst part was in those days, I was working the morning shift at QAM. I started at 5 a.m.
Oh, so you're going straight from the club to sitting down in your chair at Radio Row or wherever
I
you were.
no, no, it was in my hotel where I was doing the show from. It was in the lobby from that hotel where I was staying at.
Uh
But
huh.
the thing was, I got on the phone drunk, and I called Jesse Agler, who is now the voice over at the Padres. And I called him, and he was the producer. And I said, "Dude, you got to fill in for me today, bro. I
A
I
5
have
a.m.
drank
call.
too much, bro. I cannot do this thing. It's 1 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock over there.
Of
It's
course. Yeah.
like
Time
one
gets away
forty.
from you there.
I'm looking at 1:40. I go, oh my god, I'm on in 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Vegas, man, I haven't been to Vegas in probably about 5 years, and then before that, it was 5 years too. Two bachelor parties, Palazzo. That's my favorite place to stay.
Oh,
I think they got the biggest rooms in
that sports
Vegas.
book, that sports book in the Palazzo with the stadium seating and the
I got to
caves
check it
and all.
out now.
Oh shit, that is a badass sports book in the Palazzo, bro.
Yeah, man.
Badass sports book, man. That is a really, really good sports book, man.
I got to
And
come
by,
back
by
out
the
to
way,
Vegas.
you'll be in Vegas soon.
Will I?
Yeah.
Maybe. Hopefully,
No.
we'll see.
What kind of maybes is that, bro?
We'll see. Super Bowl's
Anybody?
around the corner.
Exactly. And the Dolphins are going to be in
Yeah.
that Super Bowl, barring
Yeah.
barring the injuries that last year derailed their season. Okay.
Yeah.
Remember, you are talking to the guy that predicted Chris Greer, right?
Sure.
You are talking to the guy that said Tua will be the guy, right? So You are talking to the guy who said Messi would be here. I told everybody in the offseason,
Mm-hmm.
buy season tickets. Messi's coming. So
Hey, from your mouth to God's ears, Big O.
I'm just saying, did I not say Flo was getting fired during a winning streak?
What you say about Dame Lillard? Was Dame Lillard coming here, Big O? Did you say that?
Yeah, I thought he was.
Didn't we all? Didn't we all? We
I
got
didn't.
tricked
I
there,
didn't know.
bamboozled.
I didn't know Dame was that soft, bro.
We got bamboozled by the Blazers. Yeah, for sure.
No, it wasn't Blazers. We got bamboozled by Dame. He didn't play hardball, bro. I was very, very disappointed that he didn't fight for his rights, like the Beastie Boys would say.
I know, man. He's supposed to be some kind of battle rapper too, dude. That was really soft on his end. To go back and be like, nah, I don't want to trade. Get out of here, man.
Yeah, bro. That was soft on his ass. All right.
Luka 2026. Luka 2026. That's the vision.
All right. That's the next whale. Yeah, but by then, Butler's on a walk.
That's fine. That's fine. You'll have everybody else. I mean, he's the next star. That's it. You build around him. You know, this is the wave. The next wave.
But we need to get 2 stars, not 1. Then at that point, we're gonna need another star there, bro.
Nah, Bam will still be a good star at 31. Keep Bam, put Luka out there. That'd be a good 1-2.
How concerned are you about Jalen Phillips' oblique injury?
To be honest, I'm not sure how big. I'm not sure how severe it is. But for him to be out 2 games is something. He was dealing with a back injury a little bit earlier as well. It's a tricky muscle, man. And Jalen Phillips is a man of many muscles. I'll tell you that much. But if he can't go, he's obviously not going to go. He's obviously one of those players that will go if he can. So this probably is, serious enough of a strain, which sucks because Jalen Phillips is, one of their best edge rushers. You want him on the field when you play Buffalo, that's for sure, coming up this week. But this is more of a opportunity for Bradley Chubb to really step up to the plate. Christian Wilkins has to do his thing against this that offensive line, and Andrew Van Ginkel has to continue playing like he has been playing. Hopefully, you get a contribution here too from Agba. But that's kind of my big concern for Buffalo offensively. If they didn't take out Van Ginkel and Agba from this game, then you're kind of just really relying a lot on Wilkins and Chubb, and you're not sure what you can get from Chubb at sometimes. And you know what Wilkins is going to do. For me, it's a big game for Javon Holland too. Javon Holland's got to man that back end out, help out Xavier with Stephon Diggs, and I think the Dolphins can keep Josh Allen in front of them a decent amount, not as much, but a decent amount. This should be able to be okay.
Yeah, no, for me that's the key. Shut him out in the run. I don't think he is accurate enough for 4 quarters that he can beat you with his arm. He can make some plays because he'll make plays because he does that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you can force him into mistakes. And that's what I think you need to do with Josh Allen. But once you can let those legs go, you're done. If you allow him to run, it's over, bro. You cannot do that with him. You got to control him.
Some of the last couple games too, the Dolphins have had, they've allowed Josh Allen to kind of get into hero ball mode, and that's the best mode that you can play him against because he's bound to mess up. He's bound to turn the ball over. If he's not fumbling, he's going to throw a pick. So, they got to be opportunistic. But if there's one team, one defense that knows how to play this guy, it's got to be Miami because they've seen him so much.
The Azukama injury kind of looks like it's something that snuck up on them from his college days, huh?
That's what I heard from Mike McDaniel today. I don't know more of that. I wouldn't speculate any more on that. When you go on the non-football injury list, it's probably something a little bit more serious than what something is a football injury. But it is disappointing because this is year 2. He seemed to have a role. Not disappointing, excuse me, but unfortunate for him because he did seem to have a role carved out in the offense where he was running the ball a little bit. So that kind of takes away some plays from the playbook for sure. Wonder if you have anybody else to run those kind of plays because we didn't really see it much last year. But the offense will roll on, and we'll see how long this does keep him out. But I will be looking into trying to learn a little bit more about what's going on in that front.
And Craycraft can still be activated, correct? Because I asked for Onistan. It looks like he can still be activated, correct?
I think if you go on, it depends if they put him on short term or if they just put him on IR. I don't know the rules all the way from the back of my head, but I know short-term IR is 4 games. You have to be out a minimum of 4 games, and then you have a window to come back. So I don't know if this is like they put him on IR for a game or two and he comes back. So this might be a little bit more extended than short term.
Okay. Running back wise, what do we know about the two guys that were out?
Savon Ahmed is questionable, which is good, but not great because he has a groin injury. And I would worry about Jeff Wilson hasn't even come back yet. So
Yeah,
you're
he's not due till after this game, right?
yeah, I believe so because it was out. This is week 4, so sure after. Maybe he's out longer. Who knows? But what you have with Mostert and A-Chain showed pretty well last week
And Brooks.
against Denver, and
And
Brooks
Brooks.
too. Brooks is, we talked about Brooks a lot. One of my favorite guys on the team during the preseason. He looks like he. So those 3 guys are going to be the ones that are going to have to shoulder the load. I think this is going to be a game where you see a lot more balance than Tua just kind of letting it fly. I think last week they really learned how much they can do with the run, and how they can kind of really slow a defense down like that. This is going to be a big test, this week. Sure, these guys have seen each other a lot before, but it's up to them to really put it together. For me, Tua kind of named Teron Johnson, the safety, that's their nickel guy, during his press conference this week. That guy's going to have to play a big role because I believe it's Jordan Poyer is going to be out for this game with an injury. And then supposedly DeMar Hamlin could play his first game of the season because of that lack of depth. So, if I'm Tua, once you're inside the 40-yard line, look deep because you have a chance to beat those secondary guys. Tyreek's going to be running really wild in this game, I think. So with one of those safeties out, whether it's Poyer or Hyde, they are a little bit more softer on the back end. And so I can definitely see some deep passes for sure.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. Look, first of all, I think they can abuse their corners. I think Miami's receivers, especially now you get Waddle back. Oh
Yeah.
my God, those two
Yeah.
guys,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
going to tear them apart. But you have to you have to restrain yourself a little bit more because you do need to punish them with the run in this game. Why? Because you want to limit the possessions that Buffalo has. So that way when they do make mistakes, they become even more magnified because you don't have as many possessions. And if you can somehow take a lead and control the ground game, oh man, you really put them behind the 8 ball in a big time way. And then that's when you put Josh in a position where he has to now, start slinging it all over the place. And here's where the mistakes come.
Mm-hmm.
Running game for me is everything. And kudos to the coach because last year you were averaging 22 yards a carry. You're up to 31 now. And in game 1, it didn't look like they were going to commit to the run as much. But again, I'll stick to my guns on that one. That was a personal game. That was an ego game by Mike McDaniel. He wanted to pass the hell out of the ball in the middle of the field. He wanted to send a message. But I think what we've seen the last 2 weeks is what we're going to see on Sunday, correct?
I could see a message being sent by Tua on Sunday too, Big O. I mean, look, this secondary is
Bad.
they can't keep up with the
No,
Dolphins, man.
no.
Tre'Davious White didn't practice all week. He's going to be starting against Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle. No, not happening, man. Jordan Poyer, like I said, is going to be out. Micah Hyde can't do nothing for those guys back there. Teron Johnson's probably going to be one of their best defenders. I believe they had like a first-round pick that's not even playing or wasn't even playing much. A corner from down here too. So I haven't really checked out the Bills as much defensively. I have seen them
Their
a little bit.
drafts the last couple of years have not hit actually. They haven't.
Yeah, man.
Drafts.
I mean, I feel bad if DeMar Hamlin's first game. I mean, last year Jalen Waddle was running right past him every game they played.
Yeah.
So good luck to him in his first game coming back. But as much as they do need to run the ball, I think you said the game plan essentially was great. Run the ball so you can keep the ball away from Josh Allen's hands. But I don't think the secondary can hold up with these guys. So I can definitely see the Dolphins kind of letting it fly a little bit too.
You kind of feel that the torches might be passed this weekend?
It better be. It better be. The Dolphins are trending upward in an amazing fashion, especially coming off that 70-point win. When you see how Tua is kind of taking this game to another level, I wrote this in a story for USA Today, so you guys please go check that out. But Tua's in another mode, man. That's what Jalen Waddle told me. That's what Teron Armstead told me. That's what Duke Riley told me. Some of his close friends in the locker room. Robert Hunt was really great too. He says, he's thriving right now, and it's contagious for everybody else. Tua is ascending right now. He's in year 2 of the same offense. Probably for the first time since he was in college, where it might have different coordinator, but the scheme is still the same. This is same coach, same coordinator, same offense. And Robert Hunt told me this mission kind of began with them in April when they first started meeting, during the off season. It takes so much to move 11 guys in unison, like the Dolphins have done with certain possessions that they play offensively, man. And Tua's the orchestrator back there, man. He's the point guard, not the point guard, the point guard out there. And this is going to be a very eye-opening game for the AFC East. We're going to see if the Dolphins really took the next step or not. We're going to see if the Bills took a step back or not. We're going to see whose division this is going to be, potentially. I'm sure there's plenty of season left to play, and you can't. It's never too early to think about playoffs and this and that. All of this is going to be coming to the light on Sunday, so we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we get the. I think the torch is being passed here this week, and I really do. I'm betting the Dolphins money line, and I'm taking the points. I just think
Good
they're
bets,
the
good
better.
bets.
I think they're the better team now. I really do. I know that the Bills have been the team in the division the last couple of years, and they deserve it. I just think kind of things are finally turning, and I think the Dolphins have a team now that they haven't had in over 25 years, bro.
Yeah.
They haven't had a team like this since the early '90s, to be quite honest. And this will be better than the early '90s teams because this team can actually run and defend, and that's the other thing that I'm interested. You know, the depth has actually shown up a lot on this team, from receivers to corners to offensive linemen to defensive ends, pass rushers. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you've needed depth. Did I mention running backs? You've needed depth in many places already in just 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
The Dolphins aren't only proving that they've got a good starting unit, they're also proving now that they've got some guys that are coming off the bench, whether you're a Kendall Lamb or whether you're an AVG or you're a Chris Brooks, and you're coming off the bench. And look at Julian Hill, got a lot of reps last week. Looks to me like they're really encouraged and trying to get him involved. Just seems like you're covering a team that is probably the best starting team you've covered for the Dolphins, and they actually have people that can come off the bench and do a very respectable job.
Yeah, to your point that you just said about a different starting team. I've covered the Dolphins 3-0 a couple times. They did it last year. They did it like during one of Gase's years when I first started covering. You're wondering, there's no way they're going to keep this up. When is it going to fall? How does it fall? And then you're going to see how bad they fall or how they kind of respond and what's going to happen. This team hasn't made the playoffs in a couple. Before that it was last year was 3 times in 21 years that they made the playoffs. So it was very much more of the same than a new day here in Miami, like we have seen and been really boastful about. Man, it's exciting. It's good for business. But more than anything, man, it's a crazy feeling watching this Dolphins team because of the fact that they're kind of in every game that they're in, right? Like that Chargers game reminded me of the Ravens game a year before that, where everybody kind of has the tenacity to not worry about the scoreboard, not worry about a deficit. There's still time on the clock, even if it's a seconds left before halftime. Mike McDaniel is going to try to squeeze 3 points out of something if he can. And even when this team is down and Tua is wheeling and dealing, it looks like they're going to score. They're going to score. Everybody on the field knows they're going to score. And when they do, it's like, okay, they're delivering. And that's a new feeling for Dolphins fans. So this is a big test on Sunday, man. The Bills have been a thorn in their side. Everybody knows how, in this matchup, everybody knows how it's been. And it's up to the Dolphins to show that it can change and how it's going to be, with their new team this year.
Amen. What do you got going on at USA Today, my friends? So Dolphins and NFL fans can check you out.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be, like I said, I had a Tua story out this morning. Big Unts mode. That's what Jalen Waddle told me. Tua Tagovailoa's new mode is that he's in this stage of his career. Had some really great conversations. I made sure I put that in the story as well. It's a football podcast dropping next Tuesday. And also, I'll be keeping an eye on Messi, man. Still day to day, game to game. That's a conversation for another day, man. I'm not sure if he's going to come back. Unless they make the playoffs, Big O. Without him, I think he can come back in the playoffs. But I don't think he's going to play on Saturday. He's not going to play in any other road games. And luckily for InterMiami, all these games are at home. So, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think he plays. I'm with you. We had Michelle Kaufman on earlier. I don't think he plays for the rest of the season. And then if they make the playoffs and he's fully healthy, then he'll play. But I don't think that. And I talked to Michelle about this. And they're going to have to balance this out because next year they're going to have several tournaments, the MLS season, and international responsibilities for all the players.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to have the same kind of demands next year. You're going to need to balance this roster out a little bit better. And as Tata, you're going to have to. There are going to be games that you're just going to have to say, Messi, you can't play, bro. We just can't. We cannot play you, and we can't be in the same position. So this year will prepare them a little bit for next year. That you're going to include Copa America and all kinds of other things that are going to go on.
Champions League, right? That's the Champions League that they're in?
No, Copa America is different and Champions League's different. And then you've got the Leagues Cup, and then you've got the US Open Cup, and you've got the MLS season, and you've got, bro, it's just, there's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
It's just,
that's a long season.
It's way too much. And listen, a lot of teams, if I really would have liked for them to win the US Open Cup. So next year they do what a lot of other teams do. They don't even take it serious, and they play their backups in the U.S. Open Cups.
Yeah.
And that's probably what they're going to have to do next year. Michelle had a very good point. The Leagues Cup is under Apple. The U.S. Open Cup is not under Apple. So I look at that.
That makes a lot of sense. Because it's Apple, they had to ball out, right? But even if they lost, like if they would have lost one of those Leagues Cup games, like Messi would have not played, right? They would have went back to the MLS schedule, and who knows, would have been great in the world. But we'll see, man. Next year, like you said, it's okay to look ahead. Hopefully, you guys had season tickets before or didn't have it, or maybe good luck with that, because that was a big deal yesterday. I'm sure for sure.
Michelle's husband, Dave Barry,
yes,
legend in our freaking business. Dave, his tickets went from like 33 or 3,400 to like 7,000.
Hey man, you'll be able to make some of that money back, maybe for a game or two. Who knows? Woo! I doubt it, but the tickets just went incredible. It's Real Madrid, Barcelona, like all those teams that are InterMiami has more expensive tickets now.
Yeah, well, hey bro, you want Messi? You want Alba? You want Busquets? You want Gomez? You want what was the other young kid? Those 3 young kids all cost millions, bro.
Yeah, they got to make the money.
Yeah,
imagine all the road, teams on the road, man, that they're gonna go travel and play, and people are gonna be complaining if Messi doesn't play. It's already happened, and could happen again, man.
No doubt. All right, follow him on Twitter at Safid_Deen, and of course, catch his work at the USA Today. Safid, as always, appreciate you. We will talk post game, my friend, on Sunday.
Yes, we will. Enjoy Vegas.
Always. Be good. Enjoy you too tonight. Yeah. Later, buddy. There we go. Safid Deen getting it done. Our Baptist Health of South Florida. Our BaptistHealth.net/ortho. Miami Dolphins report. And don't forget, folks, Baptist Health Orthopedic Care is led by renowned Chief Medical Executive John Uribe, and it combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot, ankle, and trauma, joint replacement, spine, hand, and sports medicine care. Visit BaptistHealth.net/ortho for more information.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.